Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at this retro Spidey. This is the Fearsome Foes Spider-Man from the Toybiz days. I picked it up earlier this week at a somewhat local collectible shop. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I did pick this guy up loose, so I don't have any of the accessories or the box. I'm pretty sure he did come with, oh maybe he didn't. Well, I think every character in the Fearsome Foes box came with a stand. So this is the Fearsome Foes, Toybiz Fearsome Foes Spider-Man. In my estimation, he's pretty much in perfect condition apart from one thing. I mean, he's honestly really, really solid looking. He's got some paint mishaps here and there, but back in the Toybiz days, that could have come out of the box like that. So I'm not entirely sure. But we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at this guy. We're going to zoom in right here. We're going to take a look at him. This is the famous, quote-unquote, McFarlane body with a different head sculpt on it. And this is a head sculpt that is very, very familiar to me. The artwork that it's based off is very, very familiar, but I can't pinpoint my finger on it. I'm not certain at the moment, but I know I've seen this style of artwork before. I don't think it matches the head or the body perfectly. You got very kind of wide, deep webs, very compact webs, and then the body has very thin, shallow, spread out webs. They're the complete opposite of each other, but I think the figure still looks pretty good overall. I picked this guy up for, believe it or not, I picked him up for 25 bucks. And right now this guy, the Fearsome Foes Spidey's going online. On eBay, I've seen a couple around 150, 60, 190. So I definitely lucked out. I thought he was broken when I first got him because he had some gunk up around the butterfly joints, but I realized it was just gunk. I thought it was glue. I thought the joints were iced, but no, I got them home and I cleaned them up, and they are a little stiff, but just based off the way these are constructed, I would imagine that they don't have a whole lot of range of movement anyway, but you can get them to move forward. So that's something I just don't think it's really worth messing with too much. I don't want to break it. But the only thing that isn't perfect about him is he is missing his pinky finger over here, which I inspected him pretty well before when I picked him up. It was mostly just excitement because I haven't seen one of these in person before. But I did inspect him a little bit, and like I said, I noticed the gunk around the butterfly joint, so I thought he was broken, but I didn't actually notice the finger until after I purchased it. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I think, you know, the price that I got this guy at, you know, it warrants him having a little bit of a defect somewhere. But, you know, you can see he's got the shading throughout. He's got the wrinkles, the defined musculature. It's very, very, very nice work that we just don't see nowadays. You don't see the sculpted spiders. You don't see the sculpted webbing. You don't see the seams in between the red and the blue. You don't see the wrinkles. You don't see bodies that are very distinct. You know, very specific to one character. It's just nice to see. I mean, this guy's got a little bit of, you know, he's got some weirdness going on. And, you know, because Marvel Legends is so basic nowadays, he really doesn't fit in with your other characters, unfortunately. But on his own, he looks great. He looks damn good. So, you know, I'm very happy to have this guy. You know, he's got a couple of mishaps some places. Like you can see the butterfly joint up here is a lot brighter. And there's some paint mishaps. Right here you can see the blue spreads over a little bit. And then right here it goes over a little bit and the webs disappear. But that looks like the sculpt is softer right there. Like if I wanted to pick this guy apart, I really could. Like the webbing not being painted on the shoulders, you can see the sculpt is soft, and there was a spot where they completely missed right there, the blue paint completely missed. So you could really, you could dissect this and pick it apart if you wanted to, but I think that the effort that we're seeing on this guy is just, it's just above and beyond what we get today. And of course, You know, they actually painted the pins back in the day, which they don't do that. Now they don't have to worry about it because they have the pinless joints, but it's just the effort. You know, it's not perfect, but I think Toybiz did a lot of innovation, and I think a lot of people recognize that, and they appreciate those Toybiz days. I wish that I was a collector during the Toybiz days. I really do. I did see a couple of other Toybiz figures when I was at that collectible shop where I picked this guy up. I seen the face-off Daredevil, which I probably should have picked up. It was the unmasked variant. At least I believe it was a variant. I think one version of him came with the box, or came with the mask, rather. I seen a Toybiz Scorpion alongside the previous Marvel Legends Scorpion from Marvel Legends, and it's night and day. I seen a couple Toybiz, what's his name, Craven. I should have picked him up, maybe. They had the Ultimate Goblin there as well, but I did let them slip by because I figured that this guy alone was definitely worth it. And yeah, guys, I'm really happy with this. Let's I don't think, you know, we can take a little bit more of a gander around. You can see the musculature and these details, but I think most people have seen what this body looks like for the most part. I'm just very happy to have one in the collection myself. And fortunately, there's a bit of paint rub in places, but this guy was loose. So, you know, somebody's been messing around with him for the last 18 years, so cut him some slack. 2006, I believe. Yeah. So, I'm very happy to get one of these in the collection. Let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. It's very consistent with what we see nowadays. It's just a little less polished. So with the head, you get a disc hinge, but there's no ball. It's just a peg in the head, from what I can understand, I believe. So you're only going to get rotation and a hinge, but you do get to look up really good, and you get to look down pretty decently. So there's no attitude in there at all. You get your diaphragm joints, or not your diaphragm, you get your butterfly joints, but I'm not going to mess with those too much. Your arms can go up about horizontally, full rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed knees work fantastic. Wrist rotation, a hinge at the wrist, and then you get individual finger articulation, which is really sharp, really nice. You get your ab crunch, which moves down this far. Look at that. Back this far, and there's no weird, you know, shapes to it. It looks pretty normal for the most part. I really like the way Toybiz does their waist joints, because they do use like a rubber band or some kind of spring system, and it's always round, so it always looks very appealing, and you can kind of maneuver it where you want to. It's very similar with a lot of the Toybiz movie Spider-Man figures, but nonetheless, you get the legs move out completely horizontally. Perfect. The legs move up horizontally. They move back pretty good, but they start to kick out, but you can adjust that. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, calf rotation, ankles move down that far. Not really any up movement. Little tiny bit of an ankle rocker, and you get to your toe articulation, but I wouldn't push it past that. You don't want to break it. Just a little bit. So yeah, guys, I think this dude is pretty gnarly. Definitely pleased to have him in the collection, if I do say so myself. Let's go ahead and get some size comparisons going so you can see what he looks like compared to stacked up against some of the figures from today. So for your first size comparison, here he is stacked up against the Toybiz Todd McFarlane inspired Lizard on the left, and on the right is the face-off Marvel Legends Captain America. You can see he stands a little bit taller than Cap. Probably not the best, but nowadays he does actually fit in with scale pretty nicely. I thought he was too tall, but you'll see how he stacks up here in a second. So let's move on. Alright, so here he is compared to the most recent Marvel Legends Hobgoblin on the left, and on the right is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man with the animated series head on the top, and you can see that they stand roughly the same size. So he will, in scale, as far as height goes, he will fit in with your newer Marvel Legends figures. I just don't think style-wise he fits in perfectly, but it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. For one more comic Marvel Legends size comparison, here he is compared to the retro card Spidey on the left, and on the right is the most recent Marvel Legends Shocker. Here he is compared to the Mafex 185 Classic Comic Colors Spidey on the left, and the Sentinel Peter B. Parker on the right. And lastly, for fun, here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Andrew Garfield Spider-Man on the left and the Tobey Maguire on the right. Alright guys, I definitely recommend you guys getting this guy if you haven't already. If you have the ability to get him for a decent price, or if you're willing to spend a little bit more on him, definitely pick him up. He's a treasure in the collection for sure, at least in my opinion. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. All of that would be greatly appreciated if you decide to do so. And if you like the video that much, maybe go ahead over to my second channel, Michael's Customs and Comics, and show some love over there. It would be greatly appreciated. And of course, until next time, true believers.